Want to buckle down to just untangle a host of issues that, of course, is bedeviling the country right now. But before we go there, I just want also to show you the publication of tomorrow's Star. And this is what you'll be waking up to very early in the morning. And state spends 17.2 million shillings daily on tea. And Mandazi, that is what is holding the front page of tomorrow's Star. Expenditure flies in the face of austerity measures. This story is tucked away on page 4 and 5 of the Star today. Also disquiet as city MCAs protest Ruto and Raila deals on Sakaja. That is on page 6 of the Star as well. And looking at the teaser on top here, greener pastures, Tusker happy with Ogam's move to Australian Bundesliga. And false claims. Shimolatewa prison boss, that is, Shimolatewa prison boss dismisses cult leader Mackenzie's poison claim. You have that story tucked away on page 3 of the Star. Leaders raise alarm as Jubilant forces invade Mandera. And you can see foreign boots on the ground there. Not welcome. Jubilant soldiers on the right there, Mandera residents hold placards protesting against the presence of Jubilant forces in the county. You have a story also well fleshed out for you on page 7 of the Star tomorrow. And let's see also what the editorial cartoon is there. Sit. And you can see the person who's being protected there is Sakaja, who's having the last laugh, as you can see. The MCAs and Sakaja, you know, that particular spot that has been ongoing with the threat of impeachment that has now been, of course, set aside following a negotiation there. And this is what Ozone in the Star has drawn. See, we can see Stano as well in the People Daily, another cat with 9 lives. That is Sakaja escaping there, the mousetrap. And that also will form a very good topic of discussion here on the inside. Allow me just to unveil the faces that we have this evening so that we can engage on this and the raft of other issues as well, continuing moving forward with our discussion on the inside. And I'm happy to be joined this evening by Professor Gitile Naituli, who is a governance and policy analyst, also a lecturer at the Multimedia University, and also Ambrose Wera, who's an advocate of the High Court. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate, especially where they haven't seen him for ages. Neons, they say, right? It's
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Remember when
you went for a hiatus somewhere?
No, I think the last time we met, I was telling you that President Ruto, as we do the counting, you now see President Ruto is going to get about 250, 300 over Ireland, is going to win. And Professor here was busy with a lot of English. Hey, because basic mathematics is a problem. So after that,
the mathematics
we've gone down to re-engineer. For the 2 terms.
So
for the 2 terms.
Professor was really off kilter with his mathematics. Even now,
I insist. If Raila wanted to be president, he would have won the election. He didn't want to win. That is the problem.
He didn't want to win.
No, he didn't. If you want the job, if you want to win the presidency, how do you not have agents which are required by law, recommended by law, in the opponent stronghold?
Yes.
He had no agent in the of the Mount Kenya region, in the of Nyanza. He didn't bother to have a turnout in Nyanza.
Yes.
You know, remember Gumera when the Mount Kenya wanted Uhuru to get the job? He didn't bother because he's afraid of winning the election. We just had a wrong candidate. That's all. That's how Ruto won.
All right. We are past that junction.
You know, so when professors have such voodoo excuses, it is shocking.
Voodoo excuses. Interesting. Okay, good to see you guys. And I wanted just to, looking at the Star with that particular revelation. First of all, States is spending 17.2 million shillings daily on tea and mandazi.
Yeah.
I know, Prof, this would really pique your interest.
Yeah, it does, because that is just accounting language. They are simply stealing the money. You saw 2 million on printing also.
Yes.
But we have a government printer with its own budget, which is backed by law. The government printer is backed by law. So what are they putting in the State House for 2 million? What you are having is basically a government which has made the decision to loot, and not to loot intelligently. In fact, a new government, when it comes, if it want to jail these people, to jail them very easily. Because you can't say you are spending 2 million printing. What are you printing in the State House? There's a government printer. That's why you're supposed to print your things. So, but also Parliament is weak. The Parliament is not supposed to just give State House 780 million for printing, and then another close to $1 billion to the government printer. It is in double budgeting. But what the control on budget is telling us is the country does not have a revenue problem. It has an expenditure problem. We are simply budgeting money to be taken, and then it is taken. Yes. In other ones, Atuoli was very right. You know, these Kenyans, they have a way of saying the correct things, and then later just joining in the train.
I know this will make Ambrose Ubeda very happy, because I think one time I was talking with him over lunch, and they said, you know, one of the things that I love most, very sincerely, is food. So, Tian Mandazi also is really right up your alley, sir.
The BAL, that is what would be called accounting language. When State House is given money, their budget, this is for this, this is for this. So when we are talking about tea, please, let's not take it. Basically, the way he thinks he's gone to tea room on his way to Meru, then they are taking tea. State House under President Ruto is an open State House. You see people go there. The other day, you saw all young people from Kabera, all the workers. When they go there, people eat. I remember one time I went under President Uhuru, and the president himself had to literally insist that nipewe chakula, so that I don't go out and say he's stingy. Because I will tell Your Excellency, we came to where you live and you are very stingy. So State House, under President Ruto, is like the State House which used to be under President Moi. People go there and eat. I've eaten. If you go there, you eat. Professor here, if his friends are there, he will eat. Now, they will be categorized as tea. But remember, they are visitors, they are whatever. They are not given basic watery tea. So all these are put together, then you say tea. But there are Kenyans there are foreign visitors, all these people. You can see the number of visitors visiting State House whenever the president is there. And now it is not when you talk about State House.
With all these delegations. From
and then when you talk about State House, please don't just look at that house,
on the hill.
That one. State House includes where the president is. If the president goes to Kisumu, or the president goes to Meru, or he goes to his house and he decides, I want you to call your friends for me, I want to talk to them. That is not the professor's expense. Please allow me to finish, Professor. Then at that point, his team, his budget will pay for that tea. All those in accounting will be called tea under State House, just like you'll have fuel under State House, that I will have traveling under State House. So when you hear traveling under State House, you don't say, hey, but the president, we see him here. It includes people who are sent. It includes people who work for him. When we sit on national TV to talk about national issues, let's not cheapen them. Let us disagree with the president on fundamental issues, but let us not go down to chips and mandazi, and then we make a head of it. Then we confuse wananchi, so they think everything is so bad. Then at the end of the day, they ignore even professors. When they now advise them to vote this way, they say, these are the liars. Because they say this, we see this. That explains why the middle class and the top class, the intelligentsia like professor here, the basic mwananchi in Maryland does not listen to him, because they analyze topsy-turvy, upside down.
But you've seen also the control of budget raising hesitation.
Just tell Ambrose.
Just a moment. Raising hesitation regarding also the trips. You know.
Yeah, there are too many.
There are too many. They are necessary. And we had the president talking about cutting back on these particular trips. And that has to be also given the green lights by the head of public service.
Let me tell you, the controller of budget, sorry to say, is an employee who wants a good salary. Has all the security and whatever. The art of government, making this country stable and working and moving, is beyond talking about a cup of tea or whatever. Sometimes there are many, many, many things. madhogodhanios that have to be woven together for the state of Kenya to be stable. Now, that goes beyond what the controller of budget thinks.
But if we don't take care of the cents, how will we take care of the shillings?
My friend.
Yeah, no. How will we take care of yeah, because they normally say it's the little foxes that spoil the vineyard. The little foxes.
Those are good.
The mandazis and teas here and the foreign trips that we are not really saying, oh.
Those mandazis and teas. I want you to get this thing very clearly. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. President Kibaki, 4 years, introduced very good austerity and good economics and kept people away from State House, kept people from him, people working. In exactly 4 years, this country went to the dogs. People were divided, they fought. The gymnastics that have to be undertaken so that the country remains united goes beyond tea and mandazi, goes beyond Kizungu in TV 47. There are things. You can see that Sakaja was supposed to be removed.
Yes.
You saw it?
Yes.
And Adabracadabra was done so that it was not removed. Those Adabracadabra keeps this country stable. Otherwise, we can go to the dogs if we sit and talk.
We'll come to the abracadabra. Let me just listen from Professor Gitile, because I can see him also shaking his head disapprovingly to what you're saying.
When I hear a learned, because I think Ambrose is learned, he's not educated. He's learned. There's a difference between a learned person and an educated person. Educated person, education is what remains
after learning.
After you forgot what you learned. So he is learned. When I hear him talking like this, then I know this country can be saved.
So he is educated or he's learned?
No, he's learned. He's not educated. If he's educated, he won't talk the way he's doing. Because you can't explain to me why would you use 17.2 million in Delhi with the children standing in Matope, like you saw the Tarakaniti expose. You have seen it in Baringo, the children in Baringo. You have seen it in the coast. You can't tell me you spend 72 million with those children staying. That money can bring down many classrooms. Okay, what we have to look is the alternative. What can the money do? You can't tell me you spend that kind of money or 2 million in printing, I don't know what, in the State House with all these dispensaries with no medicine, with these intern doctors not being posted because there is no money to post them. With the less capitation, you saw the principals complaining the other day about capitation. What we are saying here is there is a difference between governing and owning Kenya. Ambrose is voting for owning Kenya, for people to own Kenya than to govern it. Because you see, what is happening is not even corruption. It's looting. Okay? And one thing I can agree with him, I don't know what he's talking about the Kibaki, because the Kibaki government, that was Koni Nusu Mokate government, that's the only government which has ever worked for this country. No any other. Because all the other government has been doing what this one is doing, hitting. He is love hitting. He has talked about eating, is very nice, and all that. My friend, the Aganyans are going angry today, and he says that hitting keeps us together. I don't know how eating in the State House to keep us together, because if you get 11,000 people there, I don't know if they can put 11,000, but let's assume that these people making trips to State House, they are about.
But looking at the youth, it is more than 11,000.
Let's assume the other day the cases came there, there were 11,000. How many cases did not go to State House? Let's assume when the mayors were there the other day, there were 20,000 or even that. The mayors are more than 1.5 million. Okay? So that's not what is keeping us together. That is a waste of money. You do that when you have no ideas, when you don't know how to run a country. That's not in governing. Okay? Feeding people, my brother, is not in governing. In fact, it's shameful that you have to travel all the way from Mero, from Kisii, to go and eat a plate in a State House. So, and then the handout is humiliating, that handout. Okay?
Yes.
What you would expect the government to do is to put that money in school. You expect the government to put that money in health. we expect real empowerment to take place, meaning investing it in education in the end of the not that. And if the president has to have a meeting at all with the mayors or with the KCs, you would expect them to exploit the digital age. And they have those town halls on the platforms.
Yes.
Okay? So I can't understand that somebody can actually appreciate what is happening, because what is happening is not in governance. Yes, Ambrose actually has put it correctly. This is a 1990 Muhera ethics, okay? And an attempt to buy loyalty, which I doubt that you can buy loyalty with the money, usually is very hard. If you see a situation where somebody will to attract crowds without paying them, now you have to bring them to your house and attend, then something is fundamentally wrong. So we can put any spin we want, but this expenditure is not normal. You can't tell people to tighten.
It's not justifiable.
You can't overtax people and yet spend this recklessly.
Yes.
Those things don't go together.
Right, let's just put a comma there. And I know Ambrose, whether you'll want to chime in on that and also take us back to maybe Mwai Kibaki's, during his tenure, we never saw all this entourage, you know, the Kisis and the Merus,
and the
coming to
Kiambu.
Status and Kiambu as well, right?
And then they are paying differently.
So, no, don't react now. I will come back to you. Yeah, that is just a teaser of what is awaiting for us as well, and eagerly waiting to be joined by Churchill Suber as well, so that we may continue pace with the conversation. That is much, much later after we run these stories for you.